What have we just witnessed?
188 for 8. Normal scorecard. Sanju Samson hitting a 50 with a 124 strike rate. Normal scorecard. Surya Kumar Yadav didn't even come out to bat. He demoted himself to number 11.
He sent Harshit Rana, Arshdeep Singh and Kuldeep Yadav to bat ahead of him. Like I after a point, I could kind of figure that today was about giving those who haven't had a chance to bat some, batting opportunities. But you know what it felt like after a point? It felt like, that they paid for the ground and so everyone was getting their batting in.
I would love a captain like that. Yara, tuja. You go ahead and bat. Where was this kind of captain in my playing days? Yara, I would have improved my batting leaps and bounds. Bhau is next level when I have to look at it. But yeah, on a pitch that is kind of having some spongy bounce, some lateral movement with the new ball and with a very, very heavy outfield, let me add. India have come to 188 for 8. Some very good bowling from Shah Faisal. Some very good bowling from Amir Kaleem and Jiten Ramanandi. In fact, 2 runouts by the bowler. Ball hitting the fingers, a non-striker and run out. Hardik Pandya,
I'd really love to know the numbers behind this because I do not remember it happening. It's rare it happens once in a match, but twice in a match.
I think it's never happened.
That too by the same player. It's not even like a different bowler. It's both times it was Jiten Ramanandi and both times he's gotten the wicket. Oh my goodness.
It's never happened. As far as my living memory is concerned, 2 runouts at the non-striker's end by the same bowler in the same match. I think it's never happened. I think it will be a first. I think we'll come to have a look at it. But 2 major talking points. First, Surya. I mean, pardon my thing. He may be a great captain. Oh, sare batters ko batting there. I am going last. But do you think this was way too much experimentation for the heck of it? And was it really necessary? I felt in both terms, simple answer. No, it wasn't necessary.
No, I don't think it was necessary. I agree. But if you don't treat a game like this or don't treat some game for experimentation, I don't think you're going to treat any game. We always go by the mantra that, it's international cricket, it should be respected. But we do also know that Oman are several levels below. Having said that, yeah, I think this took it to a very, 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 very interesting extreme. Because it's one thing demoting yourself down to 5, 6, maybe 8. When you consider that there's 8 batters or 8 recognized batters in your 11. Actually, he didn't come out to bat at all. After a point, it just became like a sweepstakes kind of a thing. Oh, wait, hold on. Harshit Rana's coming out to bat. Wait, are you kidding me? Arshdeep is coming out to bat. Kuldeep is coming out to bat. Where is your captain? He's nowhere to be seen.
The captain is in the dugout and he's apparently chill. That's the thing. But I think he kind of took it a bit too far. I think, you're kind of, okay, I want to give my batters some exposure. But Arshdeep, Harshit, Kuldeep are not proper batters.
Yeah, none of them.
They at max can tonk one. Sure, Arshdeep Singh hit that cameo against Pakistan in New York where that proved to be crucial, but he's not going to win you games with the bat. He's going to win you games with the ball.
Same with the Harshit. He hit a 6 here.
Yeah.
But that was about 6 more runs than I expected from him. And the 13 he got was also about 13 more runs than I expected from him.
Exactly. So Surya Kumar Yadav's this experimentation, we'll talk about it in far greater detail because you don't have that much time.
Let's also be very clear, this could very well be something from the head coach. You don't know. It could very well be something from the head coach.
But today the head coach didn't do head coach things. You know why? Left, right. Where was the left, right?
There was at one point when Tilak got out, he sent Arshdeep and then Kuldeep.
But in the middle overs, where there was a left, right. See, because when Shubman fell, Sanju came. And when Abhishek fell, Hardik Pandya came.
Yeah, that was the only time. Yeah. I think aside from that, he stuck very firmly to the left.
Aksar Patel, Shivam Dubey, they all came.
Then Tilak when Dubey went, Tilak came. Yeah. Then when Tilak went, you had Arshdeep. Then when Arshdeep went, then Kuldeep came.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This took extreme levels of left, right. And I think today, either you are not taking the opposition seriously, which might happen. But this experimentation went way too far. And looking at it, the only individual who kind of did well with the bat, had a very good, not a very good strike rate, but a decent strike rate, Sanju Samson with 56 of 45.
I'd say Abhishek's knock as well.
38 of 15. Yeah.
That's just Abhishek doing Abhishek things. 5 4s, 2 6s gets you off to an absolute flyer. I think that was a perfectly good knock. I think there'll be people who look at this and say, you know what, this is a bit of a missed opportunity to actually get our runs. Akshar had a good cameo as well. I think, 26
or 13, yeah.
Yeah, so 200 strike rate he was going at. He did well. Even Tilak, mind you, there were a few times he missed his reverse shots. But to come in at number 7, I think that was he came.
He came at 7.
And then 160 strike rate, not bad by any stretch of the imagination, considering he's batting way lower than his comfort zone. He's a 3 or 4 batter. He's coming to bat number 7. So I think he did well. I think this also is very much a test of the team first ethos, because at this point everyone was just batting anywhere, and everyone was batting except your best batter, arguably, in Surya Kumar Yadav.
Except for Abhishek and Shubman, Surya Kumar Yadav had pointed out that the whole batting unit is flexible. I never imagined he would apply this rule so much to himself. Because he didn't come out to bat, he avoided batting. Arey, mujhe batting nahi karni hai. Which captain does that? They're awesome. Surya Kumar Yadav.
And which batter captain, mind you? I can understand if a bowler does it, obviously. I can also understand if an all-rounder does it. A batter captain who bats at the top of the order is just like, no, I don't want that. No.
Sanju Samson's knock of 56 or 45 is also going to garner some eyeballs for one simple reason. Yes, he's the only guy who's hit a 50, but look at that strike rate of 124.
He looked sluggish at times, and that was worrisome. I mean, I know that, he's obviously, I mean, if he's batting at number 3, that's as close to his ideal position as possible, because I don't think he's the kind of batter who, in normal circumstances in T20s for years, we've not really seen him bat lower than 4.
Yeah.
So he would, in recent seasons, he would sometimes open for RR. Sometimes he was the 3, sometimes he was the 4, really dependent on who was batting where. So other than that, or of course left, right, because remember when they had Butler and Jaiswal open. So Butler got out, Sanju would come at 3. Obviously, that wasn't the case. He'd come in at 4. But that's pretty much the extent of it. And I think, today was kind of a scratchy knock on his behalf.
Yeah.
I'm not reading too much into it. A lot of people will, because, this is not the kind of fluency you expect from Sanju. Yes, there were times when he hit those 3 sixes, you just like, yes, this is that batter. But at times he looked scratchy, and he was on a couple of occasions very lucky to not even been caught.
Yeah, he mistimed so many. One particular, when he was on 47 or 48, he mistimed it, but typical like a street cricketer, he just dropped that catch. Oman were guilty of dropping 5 catches, remember, in that game versus UAE. So that's why they could not do it. But see, if you don't read too much into Sanju Samson, then you shouldn't read too much into Shubman Gill as well. He got a peach of a delivery.
Oh no, I will not read. I mean, I've been a little bit critical of, the decision to bring Gill back into the setup. You can't judge a player for getting out of that ball.
Yeah.
Shah Faisal, absolute cocker of a delivery, coming in the mid 130s, the kind of ball you do not want to be facing as an opener.
Yeah, but what figures, 2 for 23 in 4 overs, which included a maiden. And had he not been hit for a 6, his economy rate was going to be under 5.
That's what?
That is the bit that Shah Faisal, but left armour coming in, where have we heard that before? Left-hander troubling a top order Indian batter. Rohit Sharma would attest to that. But then see, decent contributions from everybody. I mean, when you look at it, Jiten Ramanandi, good figures for him.
Look at Zakaria Islam, 3 overs, 23. He was going at an economy of 7.7. That's not bad. And that's what in itself also tells me that, the number of runs India have got, for any one of you who is even contemplating that this could be a tricky sort of a run defense, I can assure you it won't be. For one, I think the pitch is a little bit two-faced with the bounce.
Yeah.
And definitely at times was offering up some weird, like a sort of a spongy bounce, as you correctly put it. And the less said about the outfield, the better.
But
outfield was very, very, like we're used to. And obviously, I think, T20 cricket, in white ball cricket in recent years has spoiled us to have like those lush outfields, which kind of look like, and actually
like a billiards table.
Yes, like billiard tables. This wasn't that. It was kind of getting stuck in there. There were at times, the fielders going forward to take a catch, and you expect that if he's missed the catch, then it's just roll into the boundary. Here, there was an instance where a fielder did miss that catch, but he was able to comfortably get up and collect the ball. It just stopped.
Yep.
So it's not exactly a great outfield.
Yeah, the long off, long on region is very, very heavy, and that's why when you look at it, see, India may have gotten about 40-50 runs extra when looking at it. So, see, Oman, we are again not dissing them with the batting. I think, see, they hopefully don't fall away like how the UAE batters fell, all out for 60 odd in that sense.
That ball, they're just showing the replay of, by the way.
Yeah.
Shah Faisal, it
was a very good ball. And
also, his shot was very unerringly Rohit-like.
Yeah.
No feet movement. A bat away from the same shirt.
Yeah, that's the thing. But good on Shah Faisal to have troubled the Indian batters so much, and that's why he's the pick of the bowlers with 2 for 23. And Amir
And which
Khalil,
included a maiden, mind you. Look
Yeah.
at that. It included a maiden, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a wicket maiden.
I think Shubman's wicket.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
he got
yeah.
Shubman's wicket and then didn't concede a single run in that over.
Wow. So
Crazy. A wicket maiden in a T20I against arguably the best side in the world.
And in 5 overs, they had restricted him to under 9 runs an over, almost close to 9 runs an over. Then you have to give credit to the Oman bowlers today for really doing well. I think it was the left arm, I think the spinner who opened, I think it was Amir Khalil, if I'm not mistaken. He really, he was bowling left arm seam. Instead of left arm.
Yeah, because he was bowling him seam up and it was kind of drifting in swing.
First week delivery. He appealed for Abhishek Sharma. It would have been plumb. The only question was pitching.
And pitching, it was pitching outside.
Outside the leg stump. So India have gotten themselves to 188, but the major talking point, 3 major talking points will be in the post-match, provided India win. Surya Kumar Yadav's decision, then Sanju Samson, his knock, and third, the experimentation bit. Is it too much? Is it all that? And Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill, he'll be judged a lot more because in all the 3 games, he didn't have a good amount of runs against the UAE because too little. He failed against Pakistan. He failed against Oman.
And it was, mind you, tricky bowling in all occasions. I mean, see, let's be fair. The ball which Saim Ayub, I think it was, against Pakistan, absolute peach of a delivery, drawing him forward and then just getting it to turn away. Very good leg break sort of a delivery.
Carom ball kind of.
Yeah, the carom ball kind of mystery spin which spins away from the right hand. A good ball. This also a good ball, but yeah, the noise isn't going to die down around him.
It isn't
Especially
gonna
when you
die down.
consider that his opening partner has been effortless with the way he's batted.
38, 31, 30, I think all at a strike rate in excess of 250, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
mean, his career strike rate is nearly 200.
Yeah,
which tells you
195,
everything.
I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah.
So it's crazy, and he's just continuing off where he left off. He's been very effortless. You know, his form dipped a bit this season. I remember for Sunrisers, he'd not quite been the same.
Although he hit 100 against Punjab Kings, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. But his form, I mean, compare it to what it was like in 24.
Travis Shea,
Vis-a-vis, the Travis Shea duo, I hate that name. Vis-a-vis this year. This year was, he was a little cold, but for India, he's been fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah. See, also, you have to remember, 2024 was a freak year. Because you had pitches that would give you 260, 270 on a consistent basis. Delhi itself had the best roads in Delhi. Eden Gardens had the best roads. Hyderabad, national highways.
Don't remind me of Eden Gardens. There's this thing. I'll never forget that 260 match.
Bears too.
Besto and my goodness.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. I think you had that 2024 was a real anomaly. 25, I think also because there was a lot of rain, so sometimes you kind of get the tricky pitches here or there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's just quickly take a few comments.
Few
because I
comments.
think
Yeah. We only have 2 minutes for the resumption at this point in time. So let's
trust me,
see.
no one is going to be doing that.
Yeah.
I can assure you.
Then why is Tilak playing so many reverse? I don't know, yaar. Why did he play? I think he was coming in that position. That is why. I think he had to innovate and do some things because Tilak, even for Mumbai Indians, has not been that much of a finisher in that sense. So, freaking awesome. If there is no dew, you can clearly see the slow nature of the wicket. The ball stops a bit after pitching, bit of spin. Timing the ball, do you think dew will set in? It's already set in. It's very, very humid.
But if dew sets in, it's not a good sign for, because the pitch does ease out a little bit if, it's good consistent exposure to dew. The good thing, I say that, I think 190 is mountain too far.
And Vian Singh is not happy with Gill. He said Gill is just spoiling the momentum. What is he doing? Not every day is Abhishek going to give you a flying start.
See, I mean, I understand the sentiment, but also we need to have that little bit of thing. Both matches where he's been dismissed, he's also been dismissed to absolute peaches. And I say this as someone who wasn't a big fan of Gill coming in and disrupting the 11 or the combinations that we had.
Yeah, so that's why. Sorry, my friend. Jaiswal ain't here. He's only going to be playing in the West Indies series. So let's see, because I think Shubman, I don't know, there are reports saying that he could be rested for the West Indies series. Could be.
Your test captain being rested for the West Indies series.
Because very short turnaround time, no? 28th. Then it begins on 2nd.
How many
3
days are you
days.
going to realistically be expecting to play against the West Indies?
3 days, 4 days max in a
4
test
days.
match.
If they reaches 4 days, give them a trophy.
Yeah, but then you don't know. See, the West Indies have created surprises. They beat Australia for the first time in 34 years. They then beat Pakistan after 34 years in Multan on that spin-friendly deck. You don't know in India whether they can produce. See, they have also not won for 32 years there.
And it's rare I find myself in agreement with GGK, but he says that this just shows that Sanju needs to open. I mean, keep the pedestrian thing aside, I will agree with you. I was not a fan of him being bumped for no reason because he didn't actually do anything wrong. I can understand making this change if, there was some sort of a motive of, he hadn't been in great form, but his form is fine.
So you see, again, it was like skyscrapers and one lean patch. Skyscraper, lean patch.
But that's okay. If you're looking at it, the matches also, if you look consistently at his innings, he was consistently looking to be attacking from the word go. So the days it clicked, it really clicked.
Yeah.
The days it didn't click, he got out early. But that's what you get. High risk, high reward.
Yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, today is the day when Yuvraj Singh hit those 6 sixes of Stuart Broad at Durban. That's the thing. The first 6 was wide, long on. The second 6 was towards long leg. And when you look at it, the other 6 was deep point, then extra cover, and 1-2 mid wicket, and another 2 wide, long on. Those are the 6 sixes. Then Vian Singh saying ICC needs to pay attention to associate nation spinners. Too many suspect action.
I didn't really see anyone with a suspect action.
Maybe 1 or 2 of them. Maybe I think that off spinner probably. The flex probably. But then we'll have to see it again in that sense.
Yeah, and I don't really like getting into that sort of thing. It just becomes,
unless you are Andy Pycroft of Pakistan,
or if you have irrefutable proof that his flex was too much. Otherwise, it just becomes a case of at certain points, and that's the thing with screen grabs or even pictures, is it doesn't tell you the full context. My arm might flex this much, but if it straightens out by the time I deliver the ball, then it doesn't really matter.
I mean, that's what happened to the Kuhneman case, Matthew Kuhneman, when he was also accused of chucking, but then it's like Murli. It gives you an illusion that he's chucking, but he never chucked in that sense. But Ajmal was a clear chucker. Because 42-degree flex, how could you avoid that?
Ajmal, I used to watch him and be like, how is that allowed? How is...
Even Shillingford, kind of, when you looked at it, there was a Shane Shillingford, there was a flex. Williamson got robbed. Yeah. Kane Williamson. That was that horrible period in which you just couldn't... it was a sin to be an off-spinner at this point in time. So,
I remember those days. So how much he had to remodel his own action.
Yeah, that's the problem. Dhanush is kindly give National Highway, Pakistan roads like we saw in England, so that Gill will score runs except England pitches. Lords and Oval Test matches very failed. But everybody is like saying even the Manchester pitch was very
I think Manchester, I think it was less about the pitch being tough and more about the match circumstances. It was a good knock under match circumstances.
But the pitch
it wasn't that tough.
It was a shirt front here. Come on.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't. I don't think it was.
That's why, see, many people, I give a very unpopular opinion that I have been brought up on those times when England used to produce some rather lively pitches with good bat and ball contests.
I mean, see,
this was a drab series with a lot of...
Well, one of the reasons people talk about England series with so much reverence is because you knew that if nothing else, you could expect plenty of swing for the first 2 days, and that's what made it so tough. That's what I grew up watching England bowlers who would never express quick, but guys who could land it in the right areas and get the ball to move both ways, and that was the beauty in it. Watching those kind of guys, I mean, if you go back and watch, say, a lot of people consider the 2005 Ashes as being up there with some of the best series. Go back and watch some of the bowling then. I'm not talking about the likes of Harmerson. Go back and look at some of their more unheralded heroes, like Simon Jones,
Matthew Hoggard.
Hoggard, of course, was still a top-level bowler, but Simon Jones was someone who had a very brief kind of time at the top. Bit like and this is an unpopular opinion, a Mitchell Johnson. Johnson's peak was also very brief, but at his peak, he was unplayable. So that's the thing with the Simon Jones. He, in those conditions, was the perfect bowler to have. Could swing it both ways, always landed in the right areas. That's what we grew up with thinking of England.
Anderson Broad
were masters. I mean, if Anderson and Broad is like if you're listening to jazz music and you have the classics playing. the Boney M's and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was like I was like watching them in action. So I'm not even comparing them. I'm going one rung level lower.
Which is why the series was a big letdown.
Yeah, for me, I didn't like the batting conditions in offer.
Yeah.
It was far too batting friendly. And that's, I think, one of the worst side effects of the baseball era is that they've totally killed off the natural pitches. But that's a whole debate for another time. The match is about to start. And
Yeah, so
Pandya has the new ball in his hand.
of course. So Harshit Rana might be your first change bowler.
Yeah, I think it'll be Hardik and Arshdeep.
Yeah. So let's see what is the tactic that Surya Kumar Yadav employs. We'll be back for the post match. Let's see if anything else will they do the unthinkable, Oman, or will India manage to hang in? So let's see. Bye bye. See you for the post match.